Hi, and welcome back to Got a Minute, the little mini podcast that pairs humor columns with original music. Today's chapter is entitled Pushpins. It's all about the way our minds work and the thoughts we end up entertaining and what to do with the good thoughts and the bad thoughts. And it's combined, appropriately enough, with the song Too Much to Think Last Night by Anjanette. She'll be on in a few minutes to tell you about that song, and then we'll get a chance to hear it. So glad you're here.
This podcast is a presentation of Pioneer Dream, celebrating 30 years of moving stories for our corporate, nonprofit, and entertainment partners.
Chapter 8, Pushpins. My high school music listening was a strange mixtape of top 40, hair bands, new wave, and deep-cut classic rock. In those years, my friends would drive the back roads for hours listening to The Doors and Steppenwolf and The Stones, bands that were 20 years removed and all offering an education in things far bigger than us. Finally, like a lot of people in the late 80s, I found U2. Those early albums were restless like me. The songs gave a voice to spirituality that didn't suck. I thought maybe I could do this. Maybe I could believe in something if I didn't have to neuter my soul to get there. It might have been the age. It might have been the music. It might have been both of us finding each other at just the right time. But that music was so evocative and thought-provoking. And it said things I wanted to say. And it did it all with slamming drums and guitars and adolescent-fueled synthesizers. Have you ever seen one of those maps littered with pushpins signifying all the places a person has been? That's the way music is for so many of us. We hear a song and immediately it takes us to a place on the map of our lives, a pushpin. Coldplay's Yellow, The Verve's Bittersweet Symphony, Jesus Jones, Howard Jones, Tears for Fears, Al Green. We all have that map of musical pushpins. What are your most evocative musical memories? Isn't the mind an interesting place? It's our memory index. It's our private conversation. It's our test lab, where we try various things out to see if we actually want to say or do them in the outside world. It's where we keep our profile as a resident human being, how we see ourselves and how we perceive we are seen by others. And it's the door where we let outside information in or not. For me, my mind is a battlefield. I mean, yes, technically, as Pat Benatar says, no one can tell us we're wrong. Love is a battlefield. But that's not the conflict I'm describing right now. Also, you're welcome for that earworm. I struggle daily, sometimes moment by moment, to decide what stays and what goes in my mind. What thoughts I let in, and what thoughts make me mute the TV and hide behind the couch so they won't know I'm home. Ancient scriptures refer to this relationship with our thoughts as, quote, entertaining, as in, why do you entertain these thoughts? Your mind lives on a public street. That means any thought or idea can stop by. That's brilliant. It means you have access to beauty and friendship and color and all kinds of amazing things not already living inside of you. It also means anyone can stop by. Any thought can knock on your door, good or bad, healthy or harmful, melodic or moody, and it's on us to decide if they come in or not. When self-loathing shows up to the door, or hopelessness or prejudice or hate, I don't feel bad that those things showed up. I didn't intentionally invite them, though there are some behaviors we can engage in that are like leaving our address on a message board for bad thoughts to find us. But it's on me to let them in or not, right? My problem is that sometimes I can intellectually decide that those thoughts are not real or right, but I can still find myself entertaining them. I don't kick them out right away. I give them refuge in a shady corner of the side of my mind so I can at least hear their sales pitch. I am open-minded after all. And when I get tired or worn down, I start conversing with that idea. That's entertaining them. The longer I take to kick the ugly thoughts out, the bigger they grow and the harder they are to make leave. This is a constant for me. So, what are the thoughts we should kick out? Well, for starters, thoughts that constantly undervalue who we are. Thoughts that encourage self-hatred. Thoughts that make you want to believe you're the only one who struggles with X, Y, or Z, or X, Y, and Z. Thoughts that take the hope out of human relationships and minimize people into one-dimensional characters. Right and left, liberal and conservative, ketchup and mustard. Thoughts that encourage hate, prejudice, and isolationism. Thoughts that demand perfectionism over experience. You can't paint, write, cook, befriend, or whatever else because you may not be the best, or you may not have an outlet, or you can't achieve some imaginary level of success. What are the thoughts that get in your way? What are the thoughts you sometimes entertain instead of kicking them out? Lust, greed, darkness. What can we do to defend ourselves against bad or unhealthy thoughts? I don't know. I can tell you what helps me though, and maybe these things will benefit you too. First, you can actively participate with your mind. You don't have to leave the door wide open. You can weigh thoughts before they come in. You can vet those suggestions and ideas even when they come from pulpits, channels and networks, and friends. They're not all winners. Second, you can choose to not listen to negative thoughts by pushing deeper into life-giving experiences. Invest in yourself, express creativity, choose to be in healthy relationships. For me, the more social I remain, the less room there is for darkness, negativity, unhealthy guilt, or any of the other life-sucking thoughts that drag me down. I literally have less time for those things. P.S. Did you know that many studies now show that the leading factor for longevity isn't diet, exercise, or even genes? Thank God. It's being connected to other humans. Healthy socialization. Humans are the new drug. And third, on a good day, I know the truth. I know how I am loved. I know the good things about my talents or capabilities, or at the very least, my capacity to do good to others. I know that I have seen good things happen even in bad seasons. And so there's always hope. So when dark thoughts show up in my mind, I can simply choose to measure those thoughts against that truth, even if I'm not, quote, feeling it at that moment. As my father-in-law says, we need something bigger than the way we feel some days. To me, this is the value of ancient scriptures and proverbs. They have been tested and found to be relevant and effective over thousands of years of human existence. They're not based on one person's experience who just happened to have a cheery disposition, but on generations of people slogging through life just like us. That's also the value of healthy relationships. The more I'm with those people, the less credence there seems to be for the dark thoughts. That's my encouragement then to kick those thoughts out. Sometimes the thoughts are so persistent. They're like overgrown flies still hanging around in late October, just swarming and bumping into you and like they're begging for a mercy killing. Those thoughts are the ones I may have to wrestle with, or correct, or adjust, or evict time after time. But it does happen, and it gets easier. I guess my encouragement to you and myself is first, this is part of the human experience. You're not alone. You're not the only one to struggle and think you're losing your mind, or falling into a pit, or sinking into a void. Second, there are active things we can do to decide what thoughts we entertain and which ones we kick out like a solicitor at dinner time. It's okay to get help. It's okay to address those thoughts out loud and talk to yourself. It helps. It's okay to get coffee or even run to Walmart because you might just bump into another human being who will help you right your ship. I guess my point is, we have hope and we have action points. So take them. When ugliness shows up in your mind, kick those thoughts out before they start sleeping on your sofa and eating all your Cheetos. Those thoughts only take. They never help. So kick them out quickly. Trust me, you don't want them there. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we reached that part of this little mini podcast in which we pair this column with a song. And
Hello.
so here's our friend. That's you. Hello, everybody. This is Ann Jeanette, the original singer-songwriter, also my wife. And today we're pairing this column, Pushpins, with the song Too Much to Think Last Night.
Oh, yes, that's right. Yeah, you requested tying this one in, so
Yeah.
I like it.
Tell me a little bit about how this song came about.
Well, it's interesting because there was a young, very handsome writer of poetry that I came across around the age, I think I was 16 and he was 17.
Oh, my.
We had American Lit together. We were the only ones who cared at all about the literature. So he would slide poems onto my windshield, underneath my windshield wiper, anonymously. By the way, I knew it was you.
What a brilliant strategy.
It really was.
It worked.
And one of the poems that you had all those years ago had the line in it, I had too much to think last night.
Yeah.
And I thought, even then, oh, that's such a cool line. Instead of I had too much to drink last night, I had too much to think last night. So I kind of like cataloged that and thought sometime I'm going to put that in a song.
So you took that line and then you, of course, brought a bunch of other stuff into it. What else found its way into the song?
It is kind of an interesting song because it just talks about how sometimes our mind just gets so log jammed with everything, it sort of goes in circles. And so the song actually sort of goes in circles.
I've heard people have that problem before. I don't have that issue. But
I think the song says, my head is aching, my heart is breaking, and nothing can make it right but you. And so when we get in those thought loops, which we all struggle with, and we had too much to think last night, for me, going back to knowing that I'm loved, going back to connecting with the divine, going back to asking for peace, and in essence, pushing all that outside of my head as a physical act is the only thing that can restore peace from that. And it's okay to think, but sometimes I can take everything over.
Yeah.
So that's what I had too much to think last night is about.
Well, it's a brilliant song, and I know the audience is going to love it too. So let's let people hear it.
All right.
One thought at a time on my mind. Seems like a good idea. Drink them slow, one by one. Conquer and divide, sip by sip, drip by drip. They flood away the good. My cup's too deep and I can't breathe. So can you pull me up from underneath? What you do. My head is aching, heart is breaking. Nothing I can take will pull me through, except for you. So help me drinking only what is true. Intoxicate, inebriate my senses with what is real. Let me drink on what is right, not just what I feel. Then I'll taste from the place where water turns to wine. Drunk on your love, I will imbibe and think my way above until I survive. I had too much to think last night, and the only thing to make it right is you. It's what you do. you. It's what you do. My head is aching, heart is breaking. Nothing I can take will pull me through, except for you. I had too much to think last night, and the only thing to make it right is you. It's what you do. My head is aching, heart is breaking. Nothing I can take will pull me through, except for you. I had too much to think last night, and only you can make it right. I had too much to think last night, and only you can make it right.
As always, you can share this podcast with anyone you think would get it by sending the link now. Thanks for listening.